Hair Color community? So today I'm bringing you guys a little different setup. I want to talk to you guys about my experience being inside of the cosmetology industry. You guys have seen me share with you guys a lot about my business. So as you guys already know, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I am a salon owner in Houston, Texas, and my specialty is hair color. However, it was not always that easy to know my identity in this particular field. So I'm just gonna kind of give you guys my story and how I've grown to know my identity when it comes to being in the cosmetology industry and actually creating my own brand. So I received my cosmetology license in 2013, and I knew as soon as I entered cosmetology school that hair color was going to be my specialty. I attended Houston Community College in Houston, Texas. I graduated with my associate degree, and I also got my certificate in cosmetology. It was a journey, and on that journey, guys, although I knew hair color was my passion, I still found that it was very hard to really find out what I wanted to offer when it came to my services and my business. So I started my own salon business September 26, 2014, and from there Janae Miller Salons was birthed, and I found myself doing color, but I was also trying to do everything as well. I was trying to do updos, I was trying to do twists, I was even wondering if I needed to learn how to do sew-ins and weaves, because I started to get this idea that I needed to be like everybody else. You know, I was told at one time, you need to be a jack of all trades, because if you're not going to make it. And especially coming out of school and having really no prior background in hair, it was very scary to understand my identity and understanding my brand and what I actually wanted to be. I found myself just trying to do everything, and there were things that my clients liked, there were things that people didn't like. And so going into year 2, I decided to really try to understand who Janae Miller was, okay? Who was Janae Miller, all right? What was Janae Miller Salons? What was the brand going to be? So I talked to a good friend of mine and also my business mentor, and they instilled in me, Janae, remember why you started. When you were doing your YouTube channel and when you were doing all these wonderful things with your hair, what did you do? What did you love sharing? He was like, color. Color is who you are. Remember who you are. So between that second and third year in business, I really had to put in my mind, okay, Janae, why did you do this? Color. I had to really, what do you love doing? Color. What makes you excited? Color. So I really had to take a step back and start to work on my business, and not only on my business, but on myself, guys, and really learn myself. And I say all that to say, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, it can be really scary at times, especially in the move of social media, when there's so many images out there and there's so many successful people online, and it kind of gets hard because sometimes you start to compare yourself to other people, right? And I found myself doing that, constantly comparing myself to other people, wanting to do what everybody else was doing, and I kind of got lost in the sauce. You get what I'm saying? And so I really had to have those people to instill in me, Janae, remember why you started. Remember who you are. So with that being said, guys, I think one of the most important things to know as a business owner is to know your strengths and to know your weaknesses. I know my strengths, I embrace my strengths, but I also acknowledge my weaknesses. So education is always key if you are wanting to learn something and you're wanting to fine-tune your craft. Now, I will say this, these are the things that I enjoy, and so when it came to building my brand is pretty much an extension of who I am. I guess the encouragement I want to give you guys in this video is, you know, we have to really focus on the journey God has put us on. Don't compare yourself to everybody. Social media has become a blessing, and sometimes it can be a huge distraction because it can be really tricky with social media. A lot of times you can find yourself enjoying it because you can be extremely inspired by it, and then there's this side where it can cause you to be anxious or insecure because you're constantly comparing yourself to your colleagues or to other people. You know, I even know people who are extremely successful in the cosmetology industry and they are still comparing themselves to other people. You know what I mean? And so that made me realize that no matter where I start, no matter if it's small beginnings or whether you are at the top, people are always comparing themselves. And so we really have to get to a point where we are content in our journeys, and we have to just be content with where we are, okay? And understand that God has to place us in certain seasons to teach us, to equip us. And not everything we go through is just for ourselves, but it's also for us to help somebody else, all right? So yes, hair color community, I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about that. I don't really have a script, guys. Sometimes I try to have a script to be a little more professional, but a lot of times I just talk, you know, from my heart. I'll talk to you guys later. God bless.